Hi, I'm Emily. This is my presentation for business law. I decided to do it on the commercial leasing agreements. So the different types of property, personal, real, and intellectual. Real is the one that we are focusing on. There are the core four for real property. We have office spaces, which would include like malls and medical suites, industrial spaces, which include manufacturing buildings, assembly, repair, stuff like that. And then we have retail buildings like single tenant buildings, shopping centers, grocery stores, and multifamily would be separate housing units all in one building, like apartments. The purpose of leasing agreements and commercial leasing agreements are to finalize them. They serve as legal contracts between the tenant and the landlord. They are required for the use of commercial property, and the expectations of both parties are outlined in them in terms of the payments, which would include monthly bills, like utilities, and also other responsibilities, and then the rules of renting the property. Some of the laws of property in California include the lease and agreement laws, which require landlords to make certain disclosures in their leasing agreements. The homestead laws, which protect a certain amount of equity in a house. The adverse possession laws, this can occur if somebody wants to take over somebody's land who has been using it for 5 years and also paying property taxes on it. The security deposit limits, how much a security deposit can be, and the California tenant rights, which are like the right to a safe, habitable living space, the right to privacy, to dispute eviction notices. The difference between a lease and a sale. So a sale is the actual transfer of ownership from one part to another, and the lease is the ability to use the space for a certain period of time without full ownership of the space. As for the process, we have the commercial leasing agreements. They can range in pages. They're usually about 10 and 20. I think that ended up being 12. Leases can last anywhere 5 to 25 years. They can be customized to fit specific needs, and specific terms of the agreements include expenses, taxes, security deposits, construction of the building. Some of the parts of a leasing agreement, we have the terms and the type, the rent and late fees, security deposits, permitted and or exclusive use, maintenance, and renovation terms. For my agreement, I decided to use one of my jobs. I'm a server at a steakhouse, the Temecula, so I decided to use that. So the building is about 6,000 square feet. I did some research and talked to some local business owners about the average rent in this area. And it was about 10,000 a month. So the late fees on that would be about $100. And the security deposit would also be that $10,000 amount. I went with a modified gross lease. So the tenant is responsible for utilities and insurance, and the landlord is responsible for things like water and landscaping. We also had a section for parts that could be discussed between parties, and that would have been like a parking situation, stuff like that. So that is my agreement and my presentation. Thank you.